Question: has your doctor ever told you that in order to improve your kidney numbers, you need to replace all your low quality protein with high quality protein? It's true. This huge trial conducted on 452 advanced kidney disease patients proved just that. Test subjects were able to destroy their proteinuria levels and to beat the machine just by replacing their protein sources. And look at this. They were able to achieve a 5-fold reduction in GFR decline. Incredible! Today, I will show you how you can do that. Catherine here, I'm a doctor of natural medicine. Fact: there are 3 food swaps every kidney disease patient needs to do if they are not planning to end up on the big D machine soon. This is what recent studies are proving. So here's the thing. If you are a CKD patient from the US where renal diets are not usually prescribed, you are more than 2 times more likely to end up in dialysis than a CKD patient from Norway where renal diets are the norm. 2.5 times actually. But why is that, you ask? Why CKD patients from Norway don't end up in dialysis nearly as fast as patients from the US? Because they are started on a renal diet that focuses on high quality protein as soon as they are diagnosed with CKD. Please let that sink in for a moment. In the US, each year, over 100,000 people end up on the big D machine. More than half of them could have been saved by something as simple as a renal diet. Thousands of Americans with chronic kidney disease are being sentenced to a lifetime of needles, fatigue, and stolen years. And not because their kidneys are too far gone, but because nobody ever sat them down and taught them how to eat. So yeah, please think about that the next time your doctor says the diet doesn't matter. Because here's the thing. Once you know what to eat and what to avoid, your life is going to be so much simpler. You don't believe me? Let's take a look at the 3 food swaps that can keep you off the machine. And don't miss the final part of the video. We are going from theory to practice. I'm going to show you a simple real-life meal plan that puts all 3 swaps into action. Let's see them now. Starting with swap number 1. This is all about protein quality. You've been told, eat plant protein. It's better for your kidneys. And that sounds simple, clean, easy to follow, right? But here is the thing. Here is the part they always leave out. Not every plant protein source is on your side. Some are hurting you and you don't even know it. Let's see exactly how to avoid that. First off, replace your rice and legumes with buckwheat and quinoa. Yes, it's that simple. But how is it going to help, you ask? Well, first of all, because buckwheat and quinoa are gluten-free whole grains high in soluble fiber and antioxidants. But the main benefit is that the protein in buckwheat and quinoa is what we call high-quality protein. Rice, on the other hand, is low-quality protein. Buckwheat and quinoa have all the 9 essential amino acids including lysine, which is often lacking in plant sources. You are not getting any lysine from rice, which means the body needs to find that amino acid somewhere else. And here's the thing, you can get the amino acids rice is missing from other plant-based sources, including legumes, nuts, and seeds. But when you do that, you are also getting a lot of extra amino acids you don't need. You see where I'm going with this? You will need a lot of extra amino acids to do the same job. And your body won't be able to use those extra amino acids, alright? But your kidneys will still have to deal with them. They will also still produce uremic toxins during digestion. This process, it's not an efficient process at all. It puts a lot of extra stress on your kidneys. It's like when you buy a new pair of scissors because your old one broke, but you can't open the package because you don't have scissors. Yes, that's what your kidneys have to go through when you eat low-quality protein. all that nasty extra packaging every day, every night. So yeah, include buckwheat and quinoa in your diet. Use them to replace rice and legumes. Get high quality protein with no extra amino acids. So that's our first swap for today. And now you might ask, is replacing protein sources really going to make a difference? Will it help me achieve an improvement in my kidney numbers? Well, yes, in my experience, it really does. Because if there is one thing I've learned after years of working with CKD patients like you, it's this. You don't want promises, you want results. You want to see your GFR move at your next lab draw. Not in a year, not in 6 months, now. And there is only one strategy that consistently moves the needle that fast. The renal diet, especially when paired with my Rena Fiber and Rena Biotic. These supplements will help remove kidney toxins from the intestine before they even get to the kidneys. But the diet is what we use to have less kidney toxins to begin with. And of course, the renal diet is all about reducing protein intake. But the quality of protein you eat can make a huge difference as well. And this is not just my opinion. We have large trials like the one I've shown you in the beginning of the video in which real CKD patients were able to avoid dialysis and to save their lives by following a renal diet. So here's my point. The amount and the quality of the protein you eat can literally make or destroy your kidney health. I have patients who were able to stay off dialysis for years just by following a renal diet. And I have patients who got their creatinine back to normal just by reducing their protein intake and getting protein from better sources. So yeah, do the food swaps, focus on a healthy diet. It will make a difference. Now guys, I have 2 more food swaps to show you, but if you are in a hurry to get those kidney numbers under control, I can help you. Yes, you don't have to figure it all out alone. I can help. I offer one-on-one consultations. I will make sure you are getting the best results possible as quick as possible. You don't have to figure out a diet by yourself. You won't have to wonder if a food is hurting your kidneys or helping them anymore. I will do that for you. My patients, they don't have to weigh the food they eat. All they have to measure is their GFR improvements. So if you're ready to make the renal diet easy, send me an email at catherine@newhopeforkidneypatients.com or click the link in the description. But don't wait, spots fill up quickly. Secure yours while it's still available. Okay guys, let's go back to the food swaps. Our number 2 for today is replace your nuts and seeds with chia seeds. Now when it comes to nuts and seeds, most of them are low quality, incomplete protein sources. The exception here are chia seeds, pumpkin seeds and hemp seeds. All of them are complete protein sources, but chia seeds are the best of the best. Chia seeds are one of the best omega-3 sources you can find, and omega-3s are incredibly important. They fight the inflammation, which is a primary driver of kidney damage. So use them to replace the other seeds in your diet. Always include chia seeds in small amounts in your diet. Now, pumpkin seeds are also healthy. Here, researchers were able to prove that just by eating more pumpkin seeds, people were able to decrease their risk for calcium oxalate stones. So consider pumpkin seeds if you are at risk for kidney stones. Now when it comes to hemp seeds, well, I would only recommend them to patients that really need the protein, like those on dialysis. They have literally the same amount protein per 100 grams you get from meat, as you can see. So of course, only eat hemp seeds in moderation and only if you actually need the extra protein. One more replacement, number 3, replace your legumes with soy-based foods. Now guys, legumes just like rice are a source of incomplete protein. But legumes are like the opposite of rice. They have the amino acids lysine but not methionine. Remember that these are the building block of proteins, alright? Your body needs all the 9 amino acids to be able to rebuild tissue. But you won't get all of them from legumes alone. And of course, they have high levels of other stuff you don't really need in high amounts and that your kidneys will have to deal with. Same as what I was saying about rice. All legumes are like that. This is why I usually tell my patients to only eat legumes in great moderation. There is one exception to the rule though: soy. So here is the thing: if you are going to eat any legumes at all, it's better if you choose soy. You can easily find edamame in the frozen section of most supermarkets, and you should absolutely try it. Edamame has a mild flavor and fresh texture that makes it a great addition to many different meals. You can try it in a noodle soup, in a slow-style salad, or add it to a stir fry. And of course, you can also consider the processed soy foods including tofu, natto, and tempeh. Now, these foods pack a lot of protein, so my recommendation is to always eat them in moderation, but they can be incredibly healthy, at the point that some studies have tested soy-based products as the main protein source for CKD patients. The results were incredible! This review of studies, it just proved that replacing just 35% of your protein with soy can make a huge difference in your GFR numbers. Yes, CKD patients have improved their kidney function just by replacing their protein sources with soy. So this is the third replacement that can save you from the machine. Now guys, please note that I said replacements here, not additions. This is very important. Actually, if you just add soy, chia seeds, and buckwheat to your meals without also removing another protein source, you are taking a big risk with your kidney health. Let's see why. When it comes to renal diet, the first goal is always substantially reducing protein intake. That's the foundation. That's the dogma of the renal diet and the first and most important step toward improving, alright? So here's the thing. I've met probably dozens and dozens of patients over the years who were so scared about going low protein that they were killing their kidneys one omelette after another. And even after they talked with me, even after they started a true renal diet with as little protein as possible, they were still eating too much protein. Now, I'm not the only healthcare provider having this issue with the renal diet. If you look at the study on screen right now, the exact issue I'm explaining, it's well documented in medical literature. What this study says is that even after receiving dietary counseling, most CKD patients are still eating too much protein. And as I was saying, I'm not talking about patients who are still eating, meat, fish, dairy, and eggs here. No, I'm talking about patients following a plant-based diet. Yes, it's true. Even if you are going plant-based, you are still probably eating too much protein, says science. So question, how do we include these foods of today's video safely without adding more protein to our diet? With the master swap, the most important food swap, the goal is to remove as much low-quality protein as possible from your diet. And the main source of low-quality protein in your diet are processed grains such as pasta, rice, and bread. Most people think these foods contain only carbs, but that's not true. For every 30 grams of wheat flour, you are getting 4 grams of protein, and that's a small serving of pasta or bread. And that's a problem because this protein adds up very quickly. Remember that for most CKD patients, the goal is eating about 30 grams of protein per day. And you can't include the high-quality protein foods we have seen today if all of your protein budget is used to eat pasta and bread. So how do we solve this issue, you ask? We solve it by hacking your staple foods. We swap them for zero protein alternatives. Look at Italy. Italians live on pasta, right? Even when they have CKD. So how do Italian CKD patients survive? Simple. They eat a proteic or protein-free pasta. And here is the crazy part. The Italian government gives it to CKD patients for free. But not out of the kindness of their hearts, nope, because it saves them a fortune. In Italy, the state pays for dialysis, so keeping people off the machine saves them millions of euros. But of course, if you are in the US, dialysis is a massive for-profit industry, so nobody is handing out free a protect pasta to save your kidneys. They just watch you eat your way to the machine. And of course, you can import a protect pasta, but that's not cheap. So here's an alternative. Meet your new staple, glass noodles. These are made from mung bean starch. Starch is basically flour that has had the protein completely stripped out of it. What are you left with? Zero protein, pure carbs. It is the perfect budget-friendly food to get the calories you need without spending a single gram of your daily protein budget. But what if you also have diabetes? What if you need to cut protein and calories? Enter shirataki noodles made from the konjac root. These are literal miracle noodles. They have zero protein and almost zero calories. They fill your stomach completely without adding a single drop of toxic waste to your kidneys or sugar to your blood. And here's the plot twist. You think they taste bad, right? Well, think again. Add shirataki noodles to a stir fry with some broccoli, bell peppers, some mushrooms, and ginger and garlic, and voila! Enjoy the best calorie-free meal of your life! Okay guys, as promised, let's go from theory to practice. This meal plan you see on screen, it's based on all the foods I've talked about in the video. Now, of course, this is just a sample. It's not going to work for everyone. This is based on the need of a 50-year-old non-diabetic woman who weighs about 130 pounds and is normal weight. It's also low potassium, so anyone can try any of these meals. It's a pretty simple plan. Breakfast is a chia seed pudding with blueberries and rice milk. The trick here is mixing the pudding the night before so the chia seeds fully absorb the liquid. Lunch, this is a mung bean glass noodles bowl. We are adding 1/3 cup of edamame for protein and some chopped bell peppers and 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. For added protein-free calories, let's add garlic powder, ginger, and 1 tablespoon of low-sodium coconut aminos. This is a kidney-friendlier alternative to soy sauce. Snack time, 1 tablespoon of shelled pumpkin seeds and 1 apple. Dinner is yet another complete protein meal. We start with some pan-seared firm tofu cooked buckwheat with added shirataki noodles for extra volume and half cup of cooked green beans. Everything is cooked in 2 tablespoons of olive oil with salt-free herb seasoning. So there you have it, a menu to protect your kidneys. Let me know what you think about these meals, and if you want more kidney-saving foods, my video up here is for you, and this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye-bye.